Good morning, sir. My name is Muhammad Rizal. My ID number, my student number is 18823500001, and I am from the English Education Study Program. The mid semester exam in the linguistic course, we were given a project, namely making a video what explaining what we had learned for one semester. And on this occasion, I will explain the linguistics branch. First, before we discuss the branch of linguistics, probably we know and understand what is linguistic. Here we can see linguistic is the scientific study of language, including its structure, meaning, and use. It is an interdisciplinary field that combines elements from philosophy, psychology, computer science, anthropology, and cognitive science. Linguistic study language at various level of analysis, including phonetic, language sound, phonology, language sound pattern, syntax, sentence structure, semantic, the meaning of word and sentence, and pragmatic, the use of language in context. One of the main goals of linguistics is to understand how people acquire, process, and use language. This includes how children learn their first language and how adults learn new language, as well as how the brain processes language. Linguistics also study the diversity of language around the world, including their history, development, and relationship to each other. Another important field of linguistics is study of language change, including how language evolve over time and how they are influenced by social, cultural, and historical factors. This can involve tracing the origin of language, reconstructing proto-language, and studying the relationships between different language and language families. Linguistic has practical application in areas such as education, language planning and policy, speech therapy, and natural language processing. For example, understanding how children learn language can inform educational practice, while research on language change can inform language planning and policy decisions. Additionally, advances in natural language processing have led to the development of technology such as machine translation, speech recognition, and text-to-speech system. In conclusion, linguistics is a broad of fascinating field that provides an in-depth understanding of language and its role in human communication and cognition. Then we can see in the following table that linguistic science is divided into two, namely microlinguistic and macrolinguistic. In the table, it is shown that the microlinguistic has 6 branches, namely phonetic, phonology, morphology, semantic, pragmatic, and syntax. Then there are 7 branch of macrolinguistic, namely sociolinguistic, psychology linguistic, neurolinguistic, stylistic, cognitive linguistic, geographical linguistic, and compositional linguistic. However, on this occasion, I will only briefly explain the branch of microlinguistic along with example. Sorry beforehand, I will read this in English and then I will translate it into Indonesia so that a little easier to understand for me. As we know, microlinguistics has 6 branches, namely phonetic, phonology, morphology, semantic, pragmatic, and syntax. And here, what is phonology? Phonology, the study of language sound, including how they are produced, transmit, and perceived. Jadi telah kita ketahui bahwasanya kan di dalam mikrolinguistik itu ada enam cabang. Ada 6 cabang dalam mikrolinguistik, yaitu ada fonetik, phonology, morphology, semantik, pragmatik, dan sintaks. Maka di sini apa sih sebenarnya fonetik itu? Fonetik itu adalah the study of language sound, studi tentang suara bahasa, including how they are produced, termasuk bagaimana mereka diproduksi, transmisikan, dan dirasakan. And the next, phonology. What is phonology? The study of language sound patterns, including how sound are arranged and used in different language. Jadi phonology ini adalah studi tentang pola suara bahasa. Pola suara bahasa termasuk bagaimana suara diatur dan digunakan dalam berbagai bahasa. Kemudian, and then next is morphology. What is morphology? Morphology is the study of the structure of words, including how they are formed and how they change over time. Jadi morphology itu adalah sebuah studi tentang struktur kata, termasuk bagaimana mereka terbentuk dan bagaimana mereka berubah dari waktu ke waktu. Kemudian yang selanjutnya adalah semantik. What is semantic? Semantic is the study of meaning, including the meaning of word, sentence, and large unit of discourse. Jadi semantik itu adalah studi bahasa, studi tentang makna, termasuk arti kata, kalimat, dan unit wacana yang lebih besar. And then pragmatic. What is pragmatic? Pragmatic is the study of the use of language in context, including how meaning is influenced by social, cultural, and historical factor. Jadi pragmatik itu adalah studi tentang penggunaan bahasa dalam konteks, termasuk bagaimana makna dipengaruhi oleh faktor sosial, kultur, budaya, dan historical factor, sejarah. Kemudian, and then next, syntax. What is syntax? A study of sentence structure and the rules that govern word combination in sentence. Jadi, apa itu sintaks? Sintaks itu adalah sebuah studi bahasa yang mempelajari tentang struktur kalimat dan aturan yang mengatur kombinasi kata dalam kalimat. And then those are the branch that exist in microlinguistic along with their respective definition. Then examples of this branch are, here we can see phonetic, the sounds P, B, and M are produced by covering the lips but differ in the way they use the vocal cords and air flow. P is voiceless, no vocal cord vibration. B is voice, vocal cord vibrate. And M is the nose, air flows to the nose. Jadi di sini contoh dari fonetik, yaitu suara huruf P, P, dan kemudian B, and M, dan M dihasilkan dengan menutup bibir. P, B, M, dengan menutup bibir. Tetapi berbeda, but differ in the way they use the vocal cord in an airflow. Akan tapi berbeda dalam cara mereka menggunakan pita suara dan aliran udara. P itu tidak bersuara, tidak ada getaran pita suara P. Kemudian B disuarakan, pita suara bergetar B. Dan M adalah hidung. Jadi M itu udara ketika mengucapkan huruf M, udara akan keluar melalui hidung M. And then next is phonology. In English, P in pet and PH in pit are different phonetic sound but are considered the same phoneme, P by English speaker. In other language such as Thai, these two sound may represent different phonemes, changing the meaning of the word. Kemudian phonology dalam bahasa Inggris P dalam pet, kemudian PH dalam pit adalah bunyi fonetik yang berbeda tapi dianggap sebagai fonem P yang sama oleh penutur bahasa Inggris. Dalam bahasa lain seperti bahasa Thailand, kedua bunyi ini mungkin mewakili fonem yang berbeda, mungkin mengubah arti. And then we next morphology. The word morphology, the exam, the word unhappiness can be broken down into three morphemes. Un, a prefix meaning not, happy or root word, and ness, a suffix that indicates a state or quality. These morphemes combine to create word with a specific meaning. Jadi yang selanjutnya adalah morphology, yaitu contoh dalam kata unhappiness dapat dipecah menjadi 3 morfem. Un itu awalan kata yang berarti tidak, kemudian happy kata dasar, dan ness akhiran yang menunjukkan keadaan atau kualitas. Morfem ini bergabung untuk membuat kata dengan arti tertentu. And then next is semantic. Semantic. What is semantic? The word chill and chilled both refer to young human beings, but chill is more formal while chill is informal. This difference is connotation is included in semantic. Jadi contoh semantik itu adalah kata anak dan anak. Keduanya mengacu pada anak muda, tapi anak lebih formal sedangkan anak informal. Perbedaan konotasi ini termasuk dalam semantik. And then next is pragmatic. Can you open a window? This exam for pragmatic. Can you open a window? They might not ask if you are physically capable of opening it, but politely ask you to do. Kemudian selanjutnya adalah pragmatik. Pragmatik itu contohnya adalah dalam bahasa, bisakah Anda membuka jendela? Mereka mungkin tidak bertanya apakah Anda secara fisik mampu membukanya, tapi dengan sopan meminta Anda melakukannya. Itu adalah semantik. And then last is syntax. What example syntax is, in English a typical sentence structure is subject verb object, as in cat subject, case verb, mouse object. In other languages such as Japanese, the order might be subject object verb. Jadi sintaks yang terakhir adalah sintaks dalam bahasa Inggris. Dalam bahasa Inggris, struktur kalimat yang khas adalah subjek kata kerja, dan objek. Itu struktur kalimat yang khas dalam bahasa Inggris. subjek, kata kerja, dan objek. Seperti dalam kucing mengejar tikus. Kucing adalah subjek, mengejar adalah kata kerja, tikus adalah objek. Akan tapi dalam bahasa lain, seperti contohnya dalam bahasa Jepang, urutannya mungkin adalah subjek, objek, dan kata kerja. Jadi kalau misalnya kalau kita contohkan adalah kucing, tikus, mengejar. Seperti itu. So, my conclusion, this branch provide a comprehensive view of language, offering insight into how it is composed, acquired, understood, and used in human interaction. Through the study of linguistics, we gain a deeper understanding of communication, thought process, cultural expression, and human cognition. Jadi sedikit kesimpulan dari saya, dari semua yang telah saya paparkan. Di sini saya mengambil kesimpulan bahwasanya cabang-cabang dari linguistik ini memberikan pandangan yang komprehensif tentang bahasa, menawarkan wawasan tentang bagaimana bahasa itu disusun, diperoleh, dipahami, dan digunakan dalam interaksi manusia. Melalui studi linguistik, kita dapat mendapatkan pemahaman yang lebih dalam tentang komunikasi, proses berpikir, ekspresi budaya, dan kognisi manusia. A little explanation of the definition of linguistic that exists in microlinguistic that I can convey in this video. More and less, I apologize. Thank you and good morning.